Hey everybody, this is KMKanDrum, and here is another episode of Q&A with KMKanDrum. Today I have a very, very, very good buddy of mine, probably one of the first guys that I ever met on YouTube that also does drum covers. And as you can see, my shirt and my hat are homage to Benfica, the football team that Marco here cheers for from his hometown in Lisbon. I have, let's see, I don't want to mess this up. It's Drum Saga, Mystic, Literary, and Percussive Rhythms.
Yeah,
And the owner of that channel is Marco. Marco, how are you doing?
fine. And you?
I'm doing great. So I want everyone to know that Marco, his first language is Portuguese, but his second language is English. So he really wanted to do this interview, and I really wanted to do this interview. So I kind of pressured him to do it, even though he's not so comfortable at speaking English. But I told him, hey, look, take your time with the answers. Take as much time as you want. In fact, you can write some of the answers down as well. So there might be times during the interview where he might be reading off some answers, or it might take a bit longer to the questions. But I think we can all agree to understand that, you know, learning a second language, speaking a second language is super hard. I can't do it. Most people in America can't do it. So I want to give kudos, a big thumbs up to Marco for doing this, because it takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage to do an interview in another language. It's crazy. But in any case, we have Marco here. He and we've probably known each other for 2 years now. He's one of my biggest supporters on YouTube. I love his stuff. And by the way, Marco hasn't been playing drums for very long, but he's incredible. Amazing drummer. He plays along to Rush, and also he has an amazing taste in music. Every time he does a cover, uh, it's always a song that I've never heard of, but it's an amazing song. So great taste in music, very, very, very good at the drums for a short period of time. I'm super impressed, and I'm so glad that Marco is joining us. Are you ready for some questions?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
let's start.
All righty. All right. So the first question, the first six questions, they're drum related questions. The first question is, how long have you been playing drums?
Uh, Hi everybody. Um, I think the most of the guys, the community that we share uh, our sagas know about it. I start to play drums. I buy a drum in 2050, July, August, more or less, and I never played any instrument. I always, in the fleeting moments, I dream to play guitar. Uh, I try, but uh, I think um, it's it's very difficult to me play guitar.
Yeah.
I'm small fingers, whatever, and like everything in my life, a call. It's a call. Everything in my
Yeah.
life, it's been uh, uh, internal call, and I met Rush uh, for impossible that may seem. I met Rush about Rush later in my life. Uh, I think in 2004, because in Portugal, Rush never played live there. The radio is not played Rush. Friends, family, nobody present me Rush. And I'm a big listener of music. I have, like you said, since I was a child, I listened music, rock. My 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 mother, my father listen very music, and I since a childhood I have a huge knowledge of music, and it's unbelievable for me when I listen Rush in Brazil when I already married with my wife uh, in São Paulo in the holidays 2004 2005 I listen to music, Limelight of Rush. Yeah, man, amazing. I ask myself, what the band? I don't know this band. And I search, and it's love at first time,
Yeah.
first sight, love at first sight. Uh, it's 40 years when I buy a drums, and like I said, a call, uh, 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 como é que se diz vontade? A big uh, a big desire to make some something special. Uh, no only work, be a chef of a boss of family, uh, whatever. Uh, and the mix, my call, my dream to play an instrument, and rush in my life, especially Neil Peart, I buy drums.
Yeah.
With a dream, with a big dream to someday I play a music of Rush. And today I can say that dream is come true.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
realized.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's very similar to me. My dad played guitar, so I tried to play guitar, and for a long time I couldn't play. So my uncle played drums, and I started playing drums too. And later on, I learned how to play guitar by watching friends and people trying to help me. But yeah, for the same thing, I tried to play guitar first, and it didn't work out, and then I went to drums later. That's interesting, man. It's very, very great answer. Very awesome story. Again, I can't believe that you've only been playing for a couple of years and you can already play. I mean, I can't wait for 10 years from now to see how good you're gonna be. It's amazing.
Yeah. Look, we look forward. I hope I wish that I have time that I have in the present moment to play and the strength, motivation, whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that
Okay. Well, I have another question for you. If you could only play one style of music, what would it be?
rock.
Yeah.
Not all rock. I like very type of music of whatever. But my passion is progressive, melodic, and hard rock.
Yeah.
Metal, a few, but progressive, melodic, and hard rock. It's my passion.
Yeah.
You see in my channel.
Yep. Yep. I love your channel. Do
Thank you.
you do you use wood or nylon tip sticks?
Uh, Wood for one reason. I think the nylon ones, the acoustic drums, it's an instrument louder in terms of sound for others and for us who play. And I think the Nile ones exponent further, uh, especially in the cymbals, that sound in the snare too. And I choose wood for that reason, not more,
Yeah.
not any reason about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think most people agree. I like the sound of wood better, the sound and the feel also. Nylon is a little bit too bright, and then you add on top of it, sometimes they fly off. So yeah, I
Yeah,
like wood better too. Um, do you use a double pedal or a single pedal?
I use a single pedal. I respect the double pedal. Uh, I I never play, and I don't know play with double pedal. Uh, but I think the excess of the use today in the current tendency to use the double pedal and the effect machine gun that some guys make of them, I don't like it. Um, in a minute, when when uh, when he used sparing until looks garish. You understand me?
Oh, sorry, it broke up a little bit. Can you repeat?
One moment. So, não feches as portas, hein? Sorry, sorry, Kat. Um, I said when the double pedal it's used sparingly,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, it looks garish. But I think the classic unique bass it's the essence of percussion for me, and
Mhm.
Um, that's all.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Try to use the double pedal as little as possible because um yeah, it's almost an art form to be able to do as much as you can with the single pedal. And a lot of times exactly what you say, people use it too much, use the bass drum too much. The bass drum really is just to kind of let the listener know, where you are in the beat. The backbeat, obviously, that's the main thing. It keeps the time. But the bass drum is kind of just like the foundation. It doesn't need to be in your face all the time. Just kind of right beneath the snare drum. So to me, I agree with you a lot. Uh, unless I'm doing a metal song where obviously they use double bass. Other than that, like whenever I write something, it's almost 99% it's single pedal. So me and you we're very similar. Um, so what about metronomes? Do you ever use a metronome or do you or go more on your internal clock?
I never use metronome. When I buy a drum, buy the instrument, first head drums. I have a head drums first, and I look for her and what I doing with this, and I watch hundreds of tutorials in YouTube about rudiments, grooves, fills, and metronome. But some I like you said, I think I have a good clock, internal clock in me, and
Yeah.
I never use metronome. I don't said that I feel like about like other technicals Uh, One moment. But I don't deny that lacking me the metronome, like technical research that I don't have. But until today, I never use metronome, and that's all.
So for me, whenever I watch one of your covers, one of your videos, um, it always to it always I always try to whenever I watch any cover, I always try to hear the original drums and whatever the artist is playing on top. And I do it all the time. I'll hit the snare and it's just a little bit off from the original snare. Or I'll hit the crash and the cymbal, and it'll be just a little for you, it's almost never off. It's crazy.
Yeah, Michael, when I I'll be with him in July, said the same. We talk about. I asked him that what guy amazing him in the drums in the community, and he spoke the preference of him, and when and one of this the preference is it's for him it's me because that reason you spoke the approach to the original music I, for me the when I start this saga a drum of cover of some music I like I love it's uh, find the perfect way to play like the original like hi I was the guy behind the drums in that group that dance these musics that music I choose to play and I do my best.
Yeah, well, you do an
I
amazing
work
job.
I work hardly uh, only I know how I work to make a music my I think I am crazy but
Yeah, I mean, I think all of our wives think we're a little bit crazy. Yeah, man. Okay, so the last drum question. I know you said that at the beginning that it was a calling, but why? Why drums?
first when I think to play an instrument for therapy
Mm,
for the magic that music play an instrument is first was guitar um, the drums uh, I ever listen to music uh, let me share one moment when I listen music I always wiggle my foot
mm,
always you understand me
yeah. Hmm.
a clock clocking internal on me and when I decide well I buy the instrument and I think drums I think I will get to play drums because of that. Because I feel in me a bit, always a bit. In,
Yeah.
um, maybe it's the difference to reach the level that I reached today. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, totally. You feel a rhythm inside of you and it comes out. You know, I'm sure all of us when we're driving, we're tapping on the steering wheel. You know, when we're at the desk at work, we're tapping on the desk. So yeah, I think when you can do that, and when you're doing it all the time, yeah, it's like it's a calling. It's like, okay, yeah, I should try at least try playing drums, and then you try it, and you realize that you can kind of do it, and it makes you want to practice more and play more, and then all of a sudden you're playing drums.
Uh, like I said, I always loved music. I always was fascinating about drummers like John Bonham.
Yeah,
Uh, After I met Russ, Neil Peart, still the scene,
yeah,
but for me, you know. But I always was fascinated about drummers. But until 2050, if someone tell me I will play drums, I don't believe it.
huh? That's interesting. That's great, man. Well, that was a lot better than it seemed. You made it seem like it was going to be hard and that it was going to be difficult. I think you're doing a great job, actually. So let's keep it up. Let's go to the next section. These are job seeking questions. So I'm going to be employer. You're going to be looking for a job. And so, yeah, so let's see how you do in this interview. First question is, what are your strengths?
Uh, I think my strengths, uh, sincerity, coherence. Uh, I'm a strong opposition of the dark side of the force in all meanings,
Okay.
in all meanings that you can think. Uh, uh, I make things happen when I decided to make it.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good quality. What about weaknesses? Do you have any weaknesses?
Yeah, uh, I'm an emotional guy more than I should. I think. Uh, and I suffer about anticipation. I'm a very anxious guy. I
Huh.
suffer about anxiety. For anticipation, it's a weakness mine.
Do does it affect you like every day, or is it something that you kind of
No,
control?
no. When an example, our interview. A long days I'm suffering about. If I will talk a good English, if the people understand me. Uh, I suffer when I will make something different.
I think we're all very similar. Like
Out of
anytime,
something different out the routine of my day. Uh,
yeah,
it's very angsty for me.
yeah, of course. Something uncomfortable. Uh, Obviously, people are going to be anxious. They're going to be worried. They want to do a good job. So yeah, I mean that's totally. I think everybody goes through that. But uh, as far as certain things like that, like what about pressure? How do you handle pressure?
Permanently, yeah. In my job, I live permanently in pressure. Uh, my way of being, it's pressure, and the goals I set. But uh, in most of time, I one moment. I've been successful in the things I passed. Uh, but I'm always suffering the effects, the collateral effects of this pressure. But we must to show must go on, and
Yeah.
we we that is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, totally. Um, I don't know if you're in it now, but what is your dream job?
It's a difficult question to answer because the life is so dynamic. We change so a lot with the passage of time, with the age. And when I was child, my dream is soccer playing. I always with a lot of talent to play football, but the physical issues, resistance, endurance. You understand me?
Yeah.
I don't have. I'm a guy with explosion, but not to run marathon.
Yeah.
And when I enter in the university, I am clinical psychology. My graduated in the third year of I take a decision to be a police, enter in the police. It was a professional exit, and the mix to some characteristics on me uh, to take when I take the decision. And 2001, I in the police in Portugal. I was 30 years, 12 policeman in Portugal. And when I married with a Brazilian woman, I tried to reach the one desire of her to return to her country, and I start the fight here to be a policeman. That my profession, my job, and I love what I do. Uh, a dream, maybe not. I mean, a dream job, maybe not, because many issues. But but I love what I do, and I'm a happy guy with that
So I
question.
I have a question. Does your psychology that you learned, does that help you be a better policeman?
Uh, for the job, uh, yeah, a little bit, but the great merit of my graduating in psychology, it's for me, for my grown. It's a Copernican revolution in me. I graduated in psychology. In professional matters, Portugal, it's a country with very difficult exit professional for all jobs in Portugal. It's very difficult, and that's the reason in my third one, my graduated have was 5 years, and in the second, third year, I start to another option
Yeah.
to to work an exit to work in a job with dignity, with salary, uh, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. A lot of people in America, and I won't get too much into politics, but a lot of people in America disrespect the police here, and I don't agree with that. I respect the police so much. They risk everything for us, um, for strangers, and I can never understand how people can um, disrespect the police so much. Now, of course, there are some bad police, but for the most part, 99% of the policemen out there are good. They want to do good things. So even though I don't live in Brazil, I want to thank you for being a policeman because the policemen, I think, a little bit more respect, our appreciation, and that's as far as I'll go. I know there's a lot of people that, um, think differently from me, so I don't want to get too controversial. But for me, I think it's amazing that you're a policeman, and yeah, it makes it even makes me feel even more awesome for you that you love your job. It's a great thing. I'm glad that you love it.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Well then, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I live a very special moment today with family, my the special moment I live with the drums, and I I hope be wealthy.
Yeah.
Uh, me, my family, my friends, and I don't uh, I don't hope any different. I don't dream to any different. If the in the future, 5 years in the future is the same to the present moment, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
I'd
That's
be happy.
awesome. Great. I mean, I love that because I'm exactly the same. If I'm the same in 5 years, I'll be happy. Of course, I want to improve. I want to be the best dad that I can be. I want to be a better drummer, you know.
Yeah,
And maybe if I'm making a little bit more money, that's also.
but you
But
do you it's impossible. You must be a better drummer. You are a master, man. You
no, you can always get better.
me and the other guys, yeah, but you know, you
Thank you, man.
you
No,
are you are on the top, man. You are on the top in the drums. You are on the top.
thanks. I had good teachers, and I'm a good listener, and I think that plays a big part in drums. If you have good teachers and you have good ears, I think that's most of the battle. right there. And then, you always have to practice, of course, too.
I like that. I like that as issue of teachers because I'm a solipsistic learning. I'm learning myself, and
Yeah.
but I feel that lack. But the
I
things,
mean, I told you when we first met, and well, actually, when I first found out that you were only playing for a couple of years, I told you that um, in the span of the 2 or 3 years that you've been playing, if you match with my first 2 years, like I'm down here and you're like way up here. So in a couple years, yeah, man, if you keep playing, you'll be on your way to being a master.
thank you, Mike. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, man, no problem. I do want to know if you say you've learned yourself, you've taught yourself drums, but do you have any mentors?
In general, my mentor it's been me all the time in all decisions in my life. Uh, I have inspirational peoples in my life, in a general way. Um, 3 or 4 teachers I have, unbelievable lessons that I never forget, and a Formula One Brazilian, Ayrton Senna. I don't know if you listen about him.
No, I don't think so.
It's it's besides it's the best driver in his generation, and
Uh,
all history of the Formula One. It was a great guy with a huge light in, and very inspiration for me. Uh, Specifically in the drums, John Neil Peart, John Bonham, many others in professional meaning, but in the anonymous meaning, you are the guy in the drums that I mirror, yeah, and that I don't talk about because I talk to you now. You know about that. I I have writing a lot in your channel, in your videos, in the comments, and you are the guy anonymous that
I I
inspiration.
appreciate it. Every comment, I appreciate it so much, man. You're one of the guys that I know for sure is always gonna watch and is always gonna comment and is always going to, you know, you're not just saying good positive things, but you're also I know you mean it and I know you speak from the heart. So it's not just uh like smoke. It's not just to make people feel good. It's actual coming from the heart. So I know that you mean it, and to me it means everything because when I first put my first cover on, um, and I got a lot of good response. It was because of responses like you and um, I still don't know his name, but Hato from Japan.
Uh-huh. Uh,
And
Great guy. Yeah.
yeah, very great guy. You guys just like right away, like embraced me like a brother. And so yeah, I love being with you guys and talking to you guys and sharing covers. And it's amazing experience as a drummer. Most of the time back in the day when I used to play in bands, nobody talked to the drummer. Everyone talks to the guitar player, the singer. So we're kind of in the back. We're setting up the gear or tearing down the gear, and then we just go
I
home.
behind behind the stage,
Yeah.
and the drummer is fundamental. It's the soul of the music of but
Yeah.
uh,
So, like it's so great to have this community where we can all share and talk, and not even just about drums, just about life. When you and I and some of the other guys on WhatsApp, a lot of times we don't even talk about drums. We just talk about normal life stuff. So, yeah, it's very important to me. I love the community. And I wouldn't be a part of it if it wasn't for your Hato and you. So I thank you. So we go back and forth, man.
thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
So oh,
I see the community. I see the my channel. Besides the drum covers, it's the 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 literally way I write text in each cover, and the way I think uh, the channel, the community, it's like we talk about, um, like we share with soul, with friendship. Don't thinking about subscribers, monetization, whatever. Uh, uh, and the great thing it's the this romantic view of the we share, that we create, that we have. Me too, Rafa, Michael, and many guys.
yeah.
It's fantastic uh, uh, that we build the things, that
Yeah.
things.
I totally agree. Um, yeah, and it's not just one guy. Yeah, Michael, he kind of started it. He took it to another level after all classic drum covers. Um, but like there's guys like Uzi and Andrew,
Yeah, Andrew.
and yeah, we all just kind of are like glued together, almost like a brotherhood of sorts. So it means everything to me to be a part of this group, um, and I can't wait until the day that we all meet together
Oh,
in
me
one
too.
spot.
Me too. Me too.
All right, man. Well, that was a good second section. Let's move to the third section, the fun section, where I ask you a bunch of questions to get to know you better. So the first one is, do you have a favorite type of food?
I have a, d- a dish, a Portuguese dish. Uh, the name is codfish abras. Codfish.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the. It's my favorite food. But I love pizza and pasta,
Yeah.
macaron. I I I think I have Italian genes on me because I like so much pizza and pasta.
Yeah, me too. It's not good. There's a lot of pizza places in before I lived in New York, and now I live in Philly, and it's a lot of Italians. So a lot of pizza, a lot of lasagna. Yeah, same here. I know I don't have Italian, but I still love it. Okay, so what about your did you have a favorite subject in school?
Yeah, philosophy, psychology, Latin, three,
Latin.
three, three. My favorites three.
Okay. Um, yeah, philosophy. That's pretty crazy. That's deep. That's most people they don't get into philosophy so much. It takes a special mind to appreciate philosophy. I think, and I think it really it comes across in your videos, especially in the text part. A lot of times when you write about the songs, the history of the song, or how you feel about the song, a lot of it is philosophical. So I could see that. It's
Very, very deep.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate it, man. It adds flavor to your covers.
Thank you.
Okay. Have I know you just came back from vacation, so but I'll ask anyway. Have you traveled anywhere fun lately?
All travel for me, it's very special, very fun. The last for objective reasons, met Mike, your country. It was a fantastic experience for me. Um, but all travel, it's the most um, rich things that we can have. We learn about. We put many things relativizing I'm
Hmm.
many things, and you grow uh, without travel with travel
Yeah.
with met another people, another language, another culture. It's a great thing.
Yeah. I agree 100%. When I when I went to the first time I traveled outside the United States, I went to Hong Kong. And to me, Hong Kong is so different, but a lot of the things that we do are the same. It's very weird, very different, but very similar at the same time. And you don't you don't know until you go somewhere new that
Yeah,
people are very different, but they still do basic things pretty much the same. So in a way, you can learn what they do different and maybe what they do better. You can
yeah,
also learn what they do not so good, and you can also learn by what they do the same. Oh, so they do the things the same. It's working for them. It works for us. Okay. So yeah, travel. Um, I've learned so much from traveling, and I think everybody should try to travel.
a open mind.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, where's one place that you've always wanted to go, but you haven't gone yet?
Many. Your Hawaii, uh, Australia, New Zealand, Greece, Canada. It's uh, countries that I want to visit in my life, and
Yeah.
some others, but this I speak. It's my dream travels to make.
Yeah, I think another another good thing about our community is we have everyone, people from all over the world. You know, you and Rafa are in Brazil. Um, we have someone in Australia, Churdoi drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have Cry drummer in Finland. Andrew is in Northern Ireland. We got a bunch of guys all over the United States. So it's just we've got guys all over the place, everywhere. Hugh is in the Netherlands. So
Yeah.
basically, any country you want to go to, there's probably drummers there, and if we don't already know them, we can probably find them and get to know them. Because like now, I want to go to Finland to meet Cry Drummer. I want to go to Brazil to meet you and Rafa. I want to go to Ireland to meet Andrew.
You are very
Uh,
well here.
oh, great.
When you want.
Yeah. So yeah, the travel is I too I have so many places that I want to go. And one, yeah, because it's they're all beautiful places, but also the people, the beautiful people like yourself, like Andrew, all the great drummers that we know. I wanna be able to meet them, not only meet them just face to face, but also in their homeland, in your homeland, you know?
And it's a plus when we go to some places and have a friend, a family to show the things, the best things. It's a plus
Yeah.
when we have a guide, a guide.
Yeah. Yeah. It's totally a plus. I know, when I went to Hong Kong, when I went to Tokyo, it was just myself. I just went by well, I went with my wife, but she had to work. So it's basically me going around by myself. And I don't speak Chinese, I don't speak Japanese. So it's really hard to
Oh,
uh,
I can imagine.
find, yeah.
Can
So,
imagine.
but, um, whenever I go to places where I have a friend, it's so much easier, way easier.
Oh, yeah.
Um, okay, here's one. Here's a question that you probably have a very long list, but do you have a favorite book?
Long lists. I one it's impossible to say. I four or five can be. um, Martin Eden, Jack London, uh, Iliad and Odyssey, Homer,
Mhm.
uh, The Human Bondage, Somerset Maugham,
Hmm.
uh, David Copperfield, Charles Dickens,
Wow.
and long list.
Those are some good ones. I think the only one on that list that I've read are the Iliad and the Odyssey. So I'm gonna have to read the other
But you
one.
must read the human behavior. It's all there. The human behavior of that you can imagine. It's all there in these narratives.
Yeah. I,
It doesn't only a war episode. It's more and more beyond, and all the behavior, the human behavior, it's was there in the Iliad, Odyssey.
yeah. Huh. I'm very interested. I'm gonna put that on my list.
The fears, the relationships, the desires, all the human aspects you can find in in that narratives, epic narratives.
I wanna read it. I'm very interested in human behavior, so yeah, I'll put that on the list. Okay, so man, last question. Are you ready?
Oh, so fast.
Yeah. Um,
Let
okay,
me ask before. Let me ask how you feel the interview. It's until now. It's
until
good.
now, I think it's amazing. I think people when they watch this, first of all, they're gonna be impressed by the way you speak English. I To be honest, I didn't know really what to expect. We did a short call before, and we've talked on WhatsApp before, uh, but all of that is different from when you're one-on-one speaking, back and forth. And yeah, I wasn't sure how it was gonna be, if it was if I needed to do a lot of the talking and help you, but I didn't have to help you at all. You did just fine. So
So great.
I think it went really well. I think people are actually going to be very, very impressed by the fluency that you speak English with, and the I think the cadence, the rhythm of the interview went really well. There was a couple of times where you had to look at papers, but again, I at the beginning I said that you would do that, so shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Um, it perfectly. It went fine. It was uh, we're at almost an hour, and it didn't feel like it. It feels like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I think great job. You can do another interview if you want.
Thank you.
So okay, so I'll ask this last question because I like to ask this one because I always get different answers, and I wanna know from you if you are an early riser or a night owl. So do you wake up early or do you go to bed late?
No, I'm a earlier guy, always.
Great.
When I was young and the bohemian times, I look forward to my bed. I don't I don't have much resistance to stay at night later. My energy, my physical and mental energy, it's in the morning that I produce more, and I many texts that I write in the uploads in the covers are right in the morning, and definitely early guy,
Yeah.
earlier definitely.
Yeah. I'm the same. You probably noticed that uh a lot of times when someone posts something from across the sea, it's usually sometimes it's really early, but I'm always I'm always up. I
Yes,
always,
I realize that you're early guy too. Uh, the Hubert
yeah,
too. I saw the interview. Uh, it's the personal characteristic
yeah,
only, only.
yeah, man. Well, that's it. You did a great job, man.
I think that my interview is more faster than the other guys.
Uh, I think there's been one or two that are about this length also. So right about average, I would say.
For me, it was a tremendous pleasure and honor uh, when you asked me to make this. I explained that my difficulty to speak English, and the interview must have fluence, dynamic to be a good interview. And my fear is that, but we try. I hope the guys understand me, and
Yeah,
that's
I don't think they'll have any issues. I don't think they'll have any problem understanding. I think they'll find it very entertaining, and um, I think that even though there you do put a lot of work into the text part of your videos, um, there's only so much that you can get from your personality from the text part. When you're able to see you talking, speaking, it shows another dimension of your character, especially because it's your second language. Now, if you and I were speaking Portuguese, uh, this interview might last 3 or 4 hours, you know, because because you just will be able to you'd be more comfortable. You'd be able to say a lot more that's on your mind in
yeah,
a lot less time. So I think
yeah,
people understand that. They know that because of the constraints of your this being your second language, um, yeah, you're almost like it's almost unfair of me because I'm limiting you. But I still think you did an amazing job, and I have another friend is in Lisbon. He's my business partner, and I'm going to tell him to teach me Portuguese so that in 10 years when I actually learn it, I can interview you in Portuguese.
Portuguese is a very difficult language because for one word we have 10 synonyms, and the same way the Portuguese guy like me to speak English when don't practice uh, orally. Uh, it's that because we think in Portuguese, but for many words we have in English, it's one word, and it's a chaos in our mind. But uh, it was a pleasure. Um, I don't know if you want to ask anything.
Well, the pleasure was all mine. I wanted to do this interview when I decided to interview all the drummers and the musicians that I know. Um, it was basically two or three guys that I really really wanted to interview, and you were at the top of that list because you not only are what do they call them? They call them like virtuoso when you when you start playing something, when you start doing something and you learn it so fast, and you learn it well, almost effortlessly. So not only do you have that going, but you're also um, with your words, you're very you explain things well, the things that are going on, not only in your head, but in your heart and in your soul, and not just for yourself, but also for the other guys in the community. So to me, um, I can tell you put everything into your drums and into your covers and into the relationships that you have with everybody else. So I wanted to have that opportunity to turn it around so that you can show all of us who you are so that we can know more about you. So the pleasure's all mine. Um, as far as other questions, I mean, there's always going to be questions, but I think, right now, nothing's coming off of the top of my head. I feel like this interview, the way it is now, I'm very happy with it. I'm very content, and I think people are going to enjoy it a lot. I don't know if you have any questions for me.
Uh, uh, yeah, in reality, I have many things to say. I want to talk so many things and many things to say, but the problem of the language, it's difficult for me. But it's reciprocal. For me, it's a pleasure. I keep when you upload that interview, I will keep for all my life, and it's a precious moment for me. You, like I said about you, beside the monster of you are in an instrument. You are a special guy. You are you are accessible. You understand me?
Yeah.
And a simple guy. And in your simplicity, you are monstrous uh, in that. And my pleasure, my honor. Thank you for the opportunity. That's
I
all.
I think that's probably the thing that I learned the most about when I watched my uncle, and not necessarily, but how he carried himself as a person, because he was a professional, um, and people loved the way that he played. But I think equally they loved him as a person because he was genuine, a very nice person, very easy to get along with and talk to. And he was always there for people that he cared about. And um, I saw him job after job after job. Uh, there were more people that wanted him than he can play for because he was such a one good drummer, two very good person. So to me, I try to live the same way. Um, try to be as good at the drum as I can, but also be a decent person. No one wants to play with a jerk or an asshole. You know?
And I think he leave a great legacy in you, and you must be proud. And he, whatever he was, or he stay, should very proud about you and the person you are.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Like, um, not not very religious, not sure what I believe, but I do believe um, him and the people that we care about are somewhere, and hopefully uh, they watch over us and can be proud of the people that we are. Um, because not everybody can be famous drummers, but everybody can be decent people. So
Yeah,
I I think that's the most important thing.
totally agree.
Well, man, hopefully we can do this again. Hopefully next time in Portuguese.
If you want to lessons, I can give.
I need to learn. I definitely need to learn. Not only because I have two friends in Brazil that speak Portuguese, but also my business partner is Portuguese. So I should probably not be so dense. I should actually learn another language.
That shirt and that hat, it's the great beginning to speak Portuguese.
Yeah, man. I was fortunate enough to last year my friend took me to a game that they were playing against the team from Greece for the UEFA championships.
um, uh,
Uh,
Ayaka, Ayaka,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Athens, Ayaka Athens.
yeah. So I think that game I think it was a draw, if I remember. But amazing, amazing experience. The fans are crazy.
Very crazy, very crazy. I was a guy, a crazy guy, like in my childhood. uh, uh, when the time is past, I'm still more calm, more, uh, but I suffer a lot with my Benfica.
Well, recently, the past maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, they were doing really well, right?
No, Benfica still a great moment today. We we don't have to today the present moment. It's good for not for us supporters, Benfica supporters.
When when's the last time you went back home?
Uh, I don't go to Portugal 3 years. 3 years.
3 years.
I still there in 2005. I think 5, 6, 2000, 2050. 2050. Yeah, 2050. Uh, I think I wish to go to Portugal in the next year.
Huh. Maybe I'll meet you there.
July, it's a project.
July.
July,
Okay.
because it's ever always is July because the holidays and my daughter's school here.
Got it. Okay. Well, if destiny calls, maybe I'll be in Lisbon in July also.
Oh, it's really great, man. Talk to talk to your wife, project your
Yeah.
wife, and go meet there.
All right, man. Well, again, thank you so much. Hopefully you had fun, and we'll be speaking, obviously, on WhatsApp and on YouTube, and um, but yeah, I just want everyone. I want to let everyone know um, how great of a person Marco is. He's a fantastic guy, always super supportive. If you haven't checked out his channel, I don't know what your problem is. You should check it out. He's definitely one of my favorite drummers, and for sure one of my favorite people. So, Marco, thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully you had a blast.
My pleasure. Like I said, an honor, and thank you for the opportunity. And take care. Stay safe.
All right, and you too. Stay safe, especially you. Stay safe, Mr. Policeman.
I'll try, man. I'll try.
All righty. Well, take care, and I'll talk to you soon, man.
Thank you, Kelly. Ciao.
Ciao.
The bedroom is quiet. The afternoon with the breeze so smooth it chills the sunshine. fade like a killing shade.